What do you think, sweetie? You want to get started? Yeah, we could. Um, now I'm suddenly self-conscious. Just start the music and do it. Okay, hey, BOOZHOO! And welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am NANABOOZHOO. And over here, the lovely and the talented Natasha. Ikadon BOOZHOO, Winnie Mushane. Say hello, sweetheart. BOOZHOO, Kakita Eya. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. And welcome to the show. Yeah. And over here, the rock star cartoonist himself, Michael Lyons. Ikadon BOOZHOO, Nietzsche. Say hello, brother. Hey, everyone, welcome to the show. And, yeah, welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO Kaya. Is it 4:20 yet? It's 4:35. But I think she's talking about, is it the April 20th? Oh, Hitler's birthday? No, the international, like, marijuana day or whatever. Why did your mind go to that? Well, I don't know. 4:20 is Hitler's birthday. I better keep my eye on you. What? I just think it's kind of interesting that of all the, that your mind just went right to the Fuhrer. Get out of here. You guys, I think Natasha here, she's a neo-Nazi. Don't say that. They're going to think you're serious. Hey, Shannon Hall, BOOZHOO. How you doing, Shannon? BOOZHOO, Shannon. And Jim Dunk's here, sweetie. Well, BOOZHOO, Jim. What's going on? And Gwen Carley's here. BOOZHOO, Gwen. Gwen Carley. How you doing, Gwen? Shannon says, so happy to catch the live stream. Yeah, we thought we'd go on a little later today. Sometimes there are people who can't catch it in the morning. And I was just too crippled with depression to possibly go on this morning. Were you depressed this morning? Yeah. With the blizzard that came in. I mean, it looks okay out there now, but it's been snowing all day long. Just ridiculous. So, how are you guys? I was kidding. I wasn't depressed. I really do. I kind of want to catch some people who don't get to see us live, because they have jobs. Let's see. Kaya says, the clock in my kitchen is broken. It's always 4:20 in his house. Yeah, I bet. It's always 4:20 in her house. Yeah. But it's got nothing to do with you. I've got no one, still you won't do. And after today, I'd say we are quite through, but I know you. That's not the lyric. Yeah, that's way later in the song. We do a song called Wake and Bake. And the line is sometimes I wake and bake. But anyway, one of these days we're going to have to do another, maybe on 420, we'll do a special 420 show where we talk about the sacred, it's a woman's medicine, is what I heard. Marijuana? Yeah, the reefer, the marijuana, cannabis, what else they call it? The green, the skankweed, there's so many stupid nicknames for it. But, yeah, I heard once that in Ojibwe culture, they used it as a love medicine, and that the women kept it. And it was for increasing your senses or something. Increasing your senses? Like when you go blind and then you can hear real good? Yeah, kind of. But that it was for to enhance your senses, like your sense of taste, your sense of smell, your sense of just grooving with the campfire. It was to enhance a romantic dinner by campfire, I think. And so they called it a love medicine. It's a zaga mushkiki. Zaga mushkiki. That's what I call weed. Love medicine. I was thinking about a couple of different things today. On this, it's Tuesday, sweetie. Yeah. It's Nijo Gisha good. It's also, dig if you will, a picture day. Oh, that's right. And dig if you will, a picture of you and I engaged in a kiss. The sweat of your body covers me. Nah. That song is dirty. It is. We shouldn't sing it on our children's show. Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking for something to watch. Well, welcome to a good place to partake in the gift. Gichimanadu's gift. Zaga Mushkiki to the Anishinaabe. You know, it's been very demonized. You know, you can look at the whole weed thing as from the lens of the war on drugs. I've heard it said that sometimes the war on drugs, there were casualties in that war. And one of the casualties was the truth. You know, there was so much propaganda. Even the term marijuana is actually made up. They thought it sounded Spanish. They're like, yeah, let's write it. You know, we can tell the people that Mexicans are bringing it over and it's making them rape the white women or something. Yeah. You know, they've been demonizing this plant since like the early 1900s. You know, the founding fathers were all a bunch of potheads. Yeah, didn't George Washington have a whole pot farm? Yeah. Oh, in history will record. Oh, he was a hemp farmer. Yeah, we needed a whole bunch of ropes for some reason. Well, for horses. Oh, I guess ropes did come in handy in the old days. But, no, you know, that's not why George Washington grew weed. He grew it so he could kick back. Even Abraham Lincoln said he liked to get stoned. Is that right? Yep. Oh, somebody's calling. Can you guys hear that? 4:41. It's probably one of my employed friends going, hey, I'm off work now. It's probably Chad. Do you think so? Yeah. Well, leave a message. They're not going to leave a message. Oh, well. Anyway, what was I talking about? Talking about weed. Oh, yeah, weed. I thought we were going to talk about artists. Did you know some artists smoke marijuana? I had heard that. I don't want to freak anybody out, but I heard that the Beatles even used to smoke marijuana. Can you imagine, sweetie? No, that's not true. Yeah. What does it mean to be a drawing man? Mizina be a gun is a drawing. Mizina be a gun. Mizina be a gay winini artist. A drawing man. It's kind of like being a rock star cartoonist, huh, Michael? Yep, kind of like that. Oh, for crying out loud. My phone's ringing again. If I don't answer, just leave a message or don't. I hate these people who call twice. I'm listening for it. Sorry, guys. I don't know who it is. I wish they'd leave me alone. I'm trying to do a show here. Mizina be e gun, drawing, and Mizina be e gay winini is an artist. Now, what do I want to say about that? Something about being an artist and a rock star cartoonist. What is an artist? Oh, today on Dig If You Will, a Picture Day. So, well, Wow, I just got thrown off, sweetie. Why don't you say hi to more people? Then we'll get back into it. Okay. I've really turned into a weirdo, haven't I? What? Because you get thrown when somebody tries to call? Yeah, I get thrown and kind of annoyed. The phone hasn't rang in days, and the first time it rings because it interrupts the show, I get all bent out of shape, and I'm like, what? I want to know who it is. Call them back. Say, hey, quit calling me. It's called an email, text, or something. I don't like my phone. Hey, Diane's here. Well, BOOZHOO, Diane. She says, wasn't me this time. Oh, okay. Good. Sometimes Missy will call during the show. I'm like, Missy, what are you out of your mind? What do you think? I'm just going to send Michael into the other room to answer while we keep doing the show? I don't want to ruin the illusion, but that's not really an option for us. I need you to sit there. Yeah, I'm here. You know, he does something on the show. I mean, we're the talent, but Michael's got to be here or nothing happens. That's right. I don't care what everybody says. I appreciate you. What's everyone saying? I don't know. We want Missy on line too. Yeah. Missy thinks she's going to get on the show if she calls Michael's number. I pull up a picture of Missy. Hey, welcome to the show, cuz. Jim Dunn's here, sweetie. BOOZHOO, Dim. It's Jim. BOOZHOO, Jim. Jim says, well, I'm sitting outside in the sunshine on a beautiful day, smoking a fish. I'm glad it's beautiful where you're at. It's miserable up here and it's put me in a mood. It's made me cranky, easily thrown. Sequoia Hummingbird's back, sweetie. BOOZHOO, Sequoia. What's up? BOOZHOO, chilly in the island, sugar bush, but keeping the fires stoked and sweet water rolling. Wow. Sequoia's old style Indian. Yeah, he's living in the bush. He's living in the sugar bush. Or she. I've only known one Sequoia in my life, and that was a dude. But I think you could be either a guy or a girl with a name like Sequoia. But you don't need to identify, your preferred pronouns or anything to me. I don't care. So, artist and artistry. My Cherokee ex's name was Hummingbird. Oh, really? Nenukasi, the hummingbird. So today is Dig If You Will a Picture Day. And artist, being an artist. I think that's the title of the show. What is an artist or something? Or how to say artist. Just trying to get people randomly looking up words. Oh, then I'll talk about that later. Mizinabi Egan is a drawing. Any kind of drawing. And Winini means, or Inani means man. So it's kind of like an artist was like a drawing man. You could call yourself a Mizinabi Ike Ikwe if you wanted to. If you're a lady and you're all concerned with that kind of thing. But what I want to say about, you know what we could talk about, sweetie? You want to talk about where the wild things are? Yeah. Where the wild things are. Story and Pictures by Maurice Sendak. On this Dig If You Will a Picture Day, I would like to take a moment to appreciate the pictures of Maurice Sendak. I know next to nothing about Maurice Sendak, except that he wrote this book and 2 other books that were weird and dumb. But this book is great. Well, the wild things are, this is a picture of a bull with human feet and bear body. And he lives on the island of Wild Things or something. And as the story goes, I'm probably going to... There we go. Back in the days of the grandfathers, there's a kid named Max. When Max put on that wolf suit, this kid was a psychopath. And another artist. Look. So Max, as the story goes, Max is a little boy who likes to torture, and I'm thinking eat, dogs. Why do you say eat? Well, because you see here, he's got a fork. So one morning, Max woke up dressed up like a wolf. Or let's face it, a werewolf with a tail. And he started chasing after the dog with a fork. And he was like, hey, I'll eat you up. If I can get my hands on you, I'm going to kill you and then eat your flesh, dog. I think Max is more of a cat person, I guess. And he drew a picture of where the wild things are. Well, his mom found out about this, and she was like, Max, you psychopath. Don't be torturing that puppy. What's the matter with you? And he goes, oh, really? Well, how about this? I'll eat you up. And so she sent him to bed without any supper. And up there, he goes upstairs, and he starts to dream. And pretty soon the walls turn to trees, and the sky turned to the starry night. And pretty soon it was just, in his imagination, he just walked out. I don't have the picture before this, but in the book, it kind of transitions from room to outdoors in a cool way. It gradually turns into this. So then he gets on a boat or something and he sails. Oh wait, this is earlier. Before he leaves, Max is also kind of into camping. Indoor camping, they called it. Really? Yeah. Not a lot of people knew this about it, but he was making a tent there to wanted to camp. And by this time he had killed a teddy bear by hanging him. What? Yeah, check this out. Look at this poor teddy bear. That's not a happy teddy bear. But also check out Maurice Sendak's cross-hatching. Kids, cross-hatching is when you take straight lines and then go, up and down, side to side, and then diagonal. And it creates a texture, and it's kind of cool. You can do shading and stuff that way. But here he took a lot of time to do the cross-hatching and leave this poor teddy bear who's hung by his neck. Or maybe he's hung by an arm. Yeah, he might be hung by the arm. But he's not happy. And he hung a sheet over this thing, tied a bunch of short, I guess, napkins together or something, cloth napkins. And then look at the size of that hammer. Yeah. I would not let a kid who tortures dogs have a hammer that big. But then again, look at the size of that nail. So he makes a tent and then threatens his mom and then gets sent to bed. And eventually he winds up where the wild things are. An island somewhere out in the ocean where there's a bunch of misfit monsters. And he becomes their king. Puts a hypnotic spell on him. And he's all like, hey, guess what? Now I'm king. I'm King Max. And the big devil with the sweater, scales on his feet and a tail, he bowed to him. And then there was that transgendered red-haired thing. You think she's transgendered? Yeah, it looks trans to me. And then another demon bullhead guy. Well, he was from the cover. A bullheaded guy with the human feet. Rooster head, they called him. And then finally, Rhino Nose was the last guy. And these were where the wild things were. And, they partied up and had a good time. And they were all like, man, you know what make this a better party? Swinging around these trees? As if we could eat some dogs. And Prince Ralph was like, hey, man, I have a dog. We should go back to my house. We can eat my dog. No, he didn't. I might get the story a little wrong. It's been a while since I've read it. And then eventually, he started to miss his home. And he goes, you know what? I got to go. And they were like, no, please. We love you so much. You're the best, dictator king we've ever had. And he goes, no, I'm going to go back. So he sailed again through the ocean, got back to the house, and went up to his room. And his mother had left him some food there. And it was still hot. Meaning, of course, that whole adventure only took just a little bit of time. In reality, it was in his imagination. But it also means that at some point he actually was gone. Because why did the mom just leave food there? Could it be that the mom went upstairs and Ralph or Max was actually gone? And she just went, whoa, whatever. I guess I'll leave the porridge up here. Yeah. There's Mother of the Year. I know. No wonder he ran away. And this is the story of Where the Wild Things Are. Words and Pictures by Maurice Sendak. This guy inspired a generation, maybe a few generations of artists and drawers. When I was a little kid, every paper I had to turn in to the teacher, I'd always draw horns and fangs on the guys and claws. And I think it was because I had this book. But my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Haley, told me that. It reminded me, she goes, yeah, every time you turned in something, I'd get a little drawing. Where the wild things are. Ooh, so wild. But I think this is good art, This is much better than anything Hunter Biden's ever drawn. Hunter Biden's not an artist. Makes more money than you. Yeah, it's true. I love that argument. Like if a person makes more money, then they're just automatically right. Well, he makes more money than you. So, you must know something. How does it make you feel, Michael? What's that? That Hunter Biden is a more successful artist than you are. I feel just fine. Nah, you're jealous of him, aren't you? Not at all. In one day, Hunter Biden made more money on his art than you've made on yours in a lifetime. That's true. But he had to be, Joe Biden's kid. Yeah, I know. You got to kind of feel sorry for him. And so, that's my 2 cents on what an artist is. Maurice Sendak. John Redcorn's here, sweetie. What BOOZHOO, John? Hey, John, what's going on, my brother? John thinks it's morning. John's just getting up. Late night. Yeah. Say good morning to the night. Oh, yeah, what song is that? It's, Mad Hatters, and Mad Hatters, sons of daughters, sons of lawyers. Oh, Elton John. While Mona Lisas and Mad Hatters, sons of bakers, sons of lawyers, turn around and say good morning to the night. For unless they see the sign, but they can, and that is why. They know not if it's dark outside or light. Wow. Your voice is like butter. Get out of here. Your voice is like maple syrup. It's so sweet and smooth. Nah. Shannon Hall says, thanks, Kaya. What did Kaya say? Hey, BOOZHOO, Kaya. BOOZHOO, Kaya. Shannon, contact the language department at the res. Oh, they're talking about something. I have some really old documents where white people wrote down words and names in Anishinaabemowin, but it's all phonetics. Phonics. Any advice? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess the res might wanna say, does anybody keeping track of this stuff? Is there like a library or some sort of? And every time I've tried to go to the stupid history museum in Cass Lake, they're closed. I've never actually been in their history museum. But yeah, those are artifacts of back in the day. It'd be nice if somebody paid attention and kept records of those original people who were translating the language. You know, it was all white people who translated the language. They translated into English. You know, it was missionaries and that stuff. You know, Ojibwe people didn't just take it upon themselves to learn English and then translate their names and stuff. So almost everything is going to be from white people going, okay, this guy says. I almost was going to talk about the Shena Wishkong today. Chief Bemidji? Yeah, otherwise known as Chief Bemidji. That whole story. But I didn't pull his picture up. What do we have down here, sweetie? Got a song for Blueberry Pie. Why don't you play that song for Blueberry Pie, and then you can pull up the picture of Chief Bemidji while the song plays. That's a great idea. I'm smart. Yeah, you are. Here's a song we recorded about Leech Lake. Yesterday we were talking about White Earth. And today the Ojibwe word for Leech Lake is Gazagasqua Jamaicog. The place of the lake with the leeches. Or whatever. This is Leech Lake by Michael Lyons, NanaBOOZHOO, and Natasha, if I can find it. I just saw it. Didn't we, No, it's not. This is, Blueberry Pie. No, it's on top. Oh, there it is. Miigwech. So I wrote a song about Leech Lake, how to say it in Ojibwe. Gazagasqua Jamaicog, Gazagasqua Jamaicog. It's fun when you sing it. Now Natasha's gonna bring it. Gazagasqua Jamaicog, Gazagasqua Jamaicog. Gazagasqua Jamaica, Gazagasqua Jamaica, Gazagasqua Jamaica, Gazagasqua Jamaica, Gazagasqua Jamaica, Lindonjaba, oh, wow. Gazagasqua Jamaica, Gazagasqua Jamaica, Gazagasqua Jamaica, Gazagasqua Jamaica, Gazagasqua Jamaica, Nindonjaba, oh, Gazagasqua. Jamaica, Gazaga Squaw, Jamaica. Please like, share, and subscribe. Huh, sweetie? You tell him, baby doll. So what was I doing? You're going to grab a picture of Chief Bemidji. Chief Bemidji. So, you know, there's more than just Paul Bunyan and Babe in Bemidji. You go down the block a little bit and you're going to see this statue of Shena Wishkung, the man who rattles. I think it's how that translates. Rattling man. And Shena Wishkung, you know, as the legend goes, was the first guy to meet up with white settlers or pioneers or whatever. As the story goes, Chief Bemidji, people believe there really was a guy called Chief Bemidji. But Shena Wishkung was neither a chief, and Bemidji is the name of the lake. It means, Bemidji Gamug means crossing waters. Bemidji Gamug, or Gamug is like crossing waters lake, or something like that. But the story goes, and I'll tell you why it's so cryptic. Back in the days of the grandfathers, Shena Wishkung was doing something, and a bunch of white guys come up in a canoe. And they were like, hey, yo, chief, or whatever. What's this place called? Or what's your name? And Shena Wishkung, not speaking English, thought they were asking, what is this place called? So he said, Bemidji Gamug. And the white settlers go, Bemidji? Your name is Bemidji? Hey, fellas, guess what? I just met a chief. A real Chief Bemidji. He must be the chief of the Indians. Wow. Chief Bemidji. Well, let's start a town here, guys. And hey, you know what? Since you're our new friend, we're going to name this town after you. Chief Bemidji. We'll just keep it short. We'll just call it Bemidji. Eh? And Shena Wishkung was like, no. That's not my name. That's the name of the lake. Wow. Chief Bemidji. That's great. Well, years go by. And, you know how like Cass Lake is named after this Freemason from Wisconsin who was also like the first lumber baron up here or whatever. I think it was that guy's. I mean, he didn't own it, but I don't know, whatever. So all these towns are built by lumber mills or whatever. And so the history of Bemidji marks how Shena Wishkung was the first customer of the new lumber mill, and he went in there to buy flooring. He was going to put wood flooring in a wigwam. You know, so we're back in the days where Indian people are still, you know, dirt floors. And they said, they must have sold him the wood because there wouldn't be an invoice. But eventually, that same company went to his property on the shores of beautiful Lake Bemidji and said, hey, listen, Indian, we're going to put a lumber mill here. You go run on back. I don't know if they had a reservation then yet or not. Leech Lake started in like 34. So, no, this is before there was a Leech Lake reservation. But he moves to Cass Lake. And locals will say, yeah, he's buried out in Mission. Here in Bemidji, you go to the cemetery across the street from the University of Bemidji. Or whatever, Bemidji State College, University. And there's a cemetery there. And in there, there's a a mini Washington Monument type thing, some Freemasonic tombstone, and an Indian head nickel carved on the side, and it says Chief Bemidji. And people believe he's buried there. And history, the newspaper, will read that when Chief Bemidji Shenawishkung died, it was a big deal. They had mourners in the streets, and dignitaries from the cities came up, and everyone honored this great man who we named our town after, Chief Bemidji. But number one, that's not his tombstone out there. You don't think so? No. You wouldn't bury your grandpa and then say, hey, don't put his real name there. Yeah, we all know his name is the man who rattles. Let's just write Chief Bemidji. And let's not put his birth date or his death date. And let's just put a whatever random Indian face. There's no way, I believe, that Shenawishkung's buried in Bemidji. It kind of annoys you, doesn't it? Yeah, it does, because what it reminds me of is just a layer upon layer of bull crap that we are fed in our so-called history, even on a local level. Nobody knows how this town got started. How about that? You don't think anybody knows? Nope. There's very little actually written. And if you ever take a tour of the Historical Society, which I have, because I work in schools a few times, the story they tell about Bemidji is very sketchy. They don't know much. And nobody can really explain how, the courthouse was built in 1900, just, a few years after the first white people came up here or whatever. And across the street, there's the St. Philip's Church, which is clearly at least 100 years older, different architect, different materials. It looks like it was made in the Dark Ages or something. They say, and this was built just 6 months earlier. Apparently, this whole town got built up, the good buildings, all sprung up together at the same time in the early 1900s, in the span of about 10 years. And, I don't know. So, after a while, people started to feel guilty about how stupid we are and what a load of crap our history is. So they built a statue here for Shenawishkung, Chief Bemidji. But even the plaque is kind of dumb, what they wrote on it. They mentioned something about the Sioux uprising, or they got very critical race theory-ish. This guy actually has descendants, people I know from Cass Lake. Headbirds. Donnie and Donnie Jr. and that whole family. He's got great-great-grandchildren here. And they probably know what the real history of at least him is. But as far as our history, even LaPorte, if you try to research the history of LaPorte, it gets boiled down to about 5 paragraphs on one side of one document, one 8.5 by 11 typed up thing. LaPorte was founded on this day and blah, blah, blah. And then there was, of course, like there was in every country and every city across the world, a big fire. A big fire destroyed a whole bunch of buildings, and they rebuilt from that. And you go, wow. How do brick buildings burn? What do you mean there was a fire? These things are made out of stone. Who cares if it was a fire? Oh no. I don't understand. Gabby Hedbird. I know Gabby Hedbird. How do I know Gabby Hedbird? Is it Gabby the girl or Gabby the guy? Oh, right. No, I'm thinking of the girl Gabby. I think Gabby Hedbird's a dude. I guess I don't know who Gabby Hedberg is. So Claudia says, Shannon, yes, share with language speakers. Also, Baraga Dictionary, more phonetics than modern may help. Yeah. Because that's how you piece together the history. I think if nothing else, learning the language helps you kind of peek into Ojibwe history. Because you can't trust whatever they teach us in school and whatever the official documents suggest. I think it's all a bunch of lies. But the people perpetuating a lie now, they don't know it was a lie. You just keep going. It's like telling the story that Columbus sailed the ocean blue and discovered America in 1492. People just keep retelling the lie over and over again. How about this, sweetie? Speaking of lies, in the beginning of the show, we were talking about weed and the war on drugs. Yeah. And the casualty of truth. Yeah. The casualty of the war on drugs is that a whole bunch of people went in the closet and had to live secretive lives, living a lie because they couldn't let their family know that they enjoyed smoking marijuana. Too much, they knew it would hurt people's feelings. It's like, oh no, they're going to think I'm on drugs or whatever. Basically it gets to a point where pot smokers don't want to hang out with non-pot smokers and vice versa. Because there's the casualty of truth. You don't want the word get out. You got to go in a closet. And I was thinking about this today. I heard somebody once talk about coming out of the closet. Because there was a time when it was brave to come out of the closet of being gay. It's not brave anymore. You don't think it's brave? No. Because you're risking nothing. If you come out of the closet in 2022, you're greeted with a parade and nothing but affirmation from every level of society. Even fundamentalist Christian people will not speak a word. You'll get nothing but, good for you, son. Get out there and get some, But how many of us are willing to come out of the closet about these other things? Smoking marijuana. Not believing we live on a ball. I've mentioned it a number of times on this show. And I've mentioned it once to family members who don't want to talk about it, pretend they didn't hear me say it. But coming out of the closet as a flat earther takes bravery. To come out and tell people. I remember when I worked at the school thinking, well, I'm in the closet about being a flat earther. Because I fear I will lose my job. I know for a fact that I will be ridiculed, mocked. People will laugh out loud in my face. And I'll be called crazy. All these things happen when you tell people. No, I've looked into it. I do not believe we live on a ball spinning in space. I believe that was all a lie. I do not believe in outer space. I believe, and I've researched and I have reason to believe, and I'm not crazy, I'm not stupid. I've come to believe. Of course, like everybody. This is me coming out of the closet. Okay, you go for it, buddy. I've come to learn that we were in fact lied to about the nature of reality itself. And that lie suggested we live on a ball that spins in outer space and revolves around a sun, and that something called gravity holds everything in and explains away all the impossible physics behind that notion. I've also learned that we have all been put under a hypnotic spell. We've been conditioned to mock and ridicule and doubt the sanity of anybody who would question the heliocentric model of the universe. And it's only been the last few generations. But today I'm coming out of the closet officially because I don't care, because I don't have a job anyway. But let it be known that, yes, in fact, I'm not kidding when I talk about, I mean, you can call me a flat earther. The only problem with that is I don't really know if we live on a flat earth. It's obviously flat water, that the water finds a level, and every picture that's not through an obvious fisheye lens proves that this water finds its level, and the ocean, when there's no wind, is perfectly level forever. There's no evidence for a curved earth anywhere except from NASA. But I think there's a lot of us out here now who've stumbled across this information, opened our minds, woke up from the deception, woke up from the hypnotic spell that we've been under since we went to kindergarten. But we've been pushed in the closet because most people are still under the spell. And they resist it because they don't want to feel stupid. And there's something about us coming out and saying, hey, you believe something that's wrong. People get annoyed. I've lost friendships over saying that, hey, I don't believe in a globe earth. I do believe, in fact, in a worldwide effort to deceive the people. That's what makes me believe in Satan. Really? Yep. Satan's the only one who could possibly try to pull off a realm-wide, global? Nope, there's no such thing as a global. A realm-wide deception on the people. And you think about it. You go into school, and the first thing the teacher teaches you is, hey, here's a globe. You can't get into school without, every room has a globe. Even rooms that don't, like math rooms and the English room and stuff, will have a globe. Because globes represent intellectualism and truth and study and stuff. But you go in there and the first thing the teacher teaches you is, like, here's a globe. Look, it spins on its axis. Blah, blah, blah. Can you find America? It's an easy kindergarten thing. But then they never stop. Every movie before you watch it, you see the globe. And it says universal. And then every science fiction movie just reaffirms, yeah, space goes on forever and ever. And then there's all this NASA, which in Hebrew means to deceive. NASA. Yeah, that's right. NASA, to deceive. All the stuff every day you get on the news. Oh, yeah, Elon Musk. By the way, Elon Musk, smartest man in the world. He launched a convertible car into space. Well, I reject all that. I know that Elon Musk is a liar because there is no outer space. It's just what we see, you guys. Stars. That's what I love about Ziggy Stardust. What's that? No, but I love about, Ziggy Stardust. And the stars look very different today. No, it's Space Oddity. Space Oddity. Yeah. David Bowie's career got started because of the first fake moon mission. They promoted his song Space Oddity, which was after the movie Space Odyssey, 2001. So he wrote a song about Major Tom flying out into space and then flying off and getting lost in space. And so they actually played that song during one of the broadcasts in England. And that's what made him so popular. But we were constantly on every angle, Ace Frehley to Star Wars, Star Trek, on and on and on until, there's no reason to ever question that No, the stars are smaller than the sun. The sun and the moon are the same size. It's obvious. Look with your eyes. Don't believe anything they taught you. They said the sun was millions of miles away and 400 times bigger than the moon. But then you see a lunar eclipse and your eyes tell you, no, they're the same size. When you realize that you've been lied to about all those things, and you look up at the stars, you can say, and the stars look very different today, for here am I sitting in a tin can, far above the moon. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. But planet Earth is blue, meaning what? That blue water? Or are we sad? Because this is why I think it's the devil. Planet Earth is blue. It's really sad. Because we are disconnected from the Creator. When Satan put into motion this idea that we live on a ball, that we evolved from a Big Bang, that the stars were created first and then the planets, that's backwards from the Bible. The Bible says God separated the light from the dark. And then he separated the waters above from the waters below, and the seas from the land. On the third day, God put the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky, after the earth was created. But even Christians don't believe in the Bible when it comes to that. When the Bible says, the end times the stars will fall to the earth. Well, if it's the way science tells us, NASA tells us, you better hope a huge giant star from 1 billion light years. Because in science, a light 1 trillion miles away will travel on vacuum blackness of space as a wave or a particle. They can't decide. Oh, it's both. No, dummy. Waves, you have to have something to wave. Like water has waves. A flag waves. Light doesn't wave. But anyway, but I think it was Satan because only somebody who lives for generations could put into motion a plan that would deceive the whole world. Like a bad guy would have to see. Most bad guys' plans, they go, okay, we're going to do this bad thing. I'm a con man. I'm going to do this thing. And they want to see whether it worked out in this lifetime. But this thing goes back to 1492. Yeah. You know, they've been lying to us since 1492. When they built the first globe, coincidentally enough. But I think it's Satan because ultimately, the whole point is to make us not believe in God. Yeah, you don't need a creator if you believe in science. Yeah. Everybody tries to put that together. Oh, yeah, I believe in evolution, but I also believe in God. Of course, I'm a good Catholic. And I really like science. No, that's a deception. It's a satanic deception, in fact. I think it's Satan. But no, you can't believe in a creator and also believe that there was no creator. That's what it is to believe in science and say you believe in God. No, you don't. Shut up with that. Don't say shut up to the BOOZHOO crew. Nancy Schmancy. Hey, BOOZHOO, Nancy Schmancy. I feel like we're on a real live version of The Truman Show. Yeah, I think it's much more like The Truman Show in reality. There's a dome over us, and there's probably somebody watching, you know. And there might even be fake actors all around. People who know the truth. Because that's the other thing I was thinking about. What's that? With like secret societies. the Freemasons, Illuminati, and like David Bowie and, all these high up guys. The secret that they know is that they know we don't live on a globe. That's always been the secret. The higher up you go in the Freemasonic stuff, the more secrets they reveal. Until you finally get up and this big secret is, hey, by the way, Satan's real. And he's in charge of that whole group. And they've got a whole agenda and been doing stuff for generations. And they reveal the truth a little bit along the way. And so with the truth is power. But the truth will set you free, is what they say. So I'm coming out of the closet and I'm going to tell the truth. And I don't care if people stop liking me because of that. What do you think about astrology? Now I'm kind of into astrology. Like, I used to think astrology was sort of like, Dungeons and Dragons for girls. Yeah. But the Bible says the stars are for signs and seasons. And the people in these secret societies put a lot of stock in it. So it's also the thing they don't teach us, but there's a whole school behind it. So I no longer think it's nonsense, like I did when I believed that those stars were millions of miles away and were suns in different galaxies. Then it would be ridiculous that the stars would have anything to do with anything. Now, I think the stars are, there's a pattern up there that rotates around. That's why all the, the constellations stay consistent. Maybe it means something. Why do the pyramids line up perfectly with Orion's belt at a certain time of the year? Those 3 pyramids, you point straight, it's like 3 lights above them. When Orion swings around every year, because the stars never change relative to each other. When I realized there was no such thing as outer space, when I learned that fact, I looked up and the stars suddenly looked different. And you go, oh yeah, of course. That's why if we were moving through space and everything was expanding, the sun's moving too, as they say. The sun moves, and then the planets move around the sun, and millions of years go by. But those, it's still all these old Greek gods. There's Orion's belt. There's Sagittarius. Why? Well, what's the connection? We're born in a certain time of year and a certain time of day. Maybe it has something to do with something. I don't know. But I still want to believe in dinosaurs, though. Yeah, you got it. There is like a grief when you go through waking up, because that's another part of the programming. What's the biggest thing they push on kids? Dinosaurs. You can learn all the different names. There's Jurassic Park and Land of the Lost and blah blah blah. And they don't tell you that dinosaurs were invented in 1856, I think it was. There was no word for dinosaur in Ojibwe. There was no culture in the world that talked about dinosaurs. That was made up by museum guys. Dinosaurs don't exist. Never did. Just out. Me, I got sad about it in a way, and I was a huge Star Trek fan. And a huge Alien fan. I mean, you guys see drawings that Michael did all over the place of gray aliens. Me too. I was totally fascinated by life on other planets. But what's interesting, what they call aliens? What's that? Mexicans? No, sweetie. They call them extraterrestrials. Oh, yeah, because they're from an extra land. Exactly. So the whole flat earth theory thing is that, we're under a dome. Biblical description of the earth is there is a dome over us. and we're fixed, immovable. Nothing in the Bible suggests, there's not a verse in the Bible that says, and then on the 8th day, God set the ball earth into motion, spinning on its axis around the sun. The Bible does not say that. Just the opposite. It says the sun moves around us. But giving up the idea of outer space and gray aliens. I always liked aliens. I thought they were equally cute and scary. I wanted to meet an alien, and I was afraid that they'd just come to my house. I sometimes wondered if I wasn't telekinetically being communicated with from gray aliens. Because I was like, why am I drawing aliens so much? Are they trying to get me to... Am I like that guy on Close Encounters of the Third Kind? But I saw all that stuff. I love space. But, God opened my eyes. When people say, God revealed himself to me. Well, God never revealed himself to me, but the universe did. The universe revealed itself to me as a firmament dome with lights in it that rotate around us. I don't know. And then so that's when I started believing in the Creator. Because I found a devil. Yeah, you found Jesus through the devil. Right. People say, oh, I found God. Yeah, I found Satan. Right where he always been. In my rock and roll music, in the Freemasonics, and in science fiction. Anyway, I've already talked for an hour, sweetie. Do you want to get up there? Sure. Why don't you play a song and I'll get up there? All right, let's do a long show today. Because I'm coming out of the closet. I would appreciate your support. I'm just come out of the closet. I'm a flat earther. Here's a little song about blueberry pie. Miigwech Bizendawiyeg. Thank you for listening. And I wanted a piece of blueberry pie. So I went up and I asked this guy, but he only spoke Ojibwe. So I had to say, Minabushki Minasagani, Batusi Chikani, Bakwayshikan. 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 And I wanted a piece of blueberry pie, so I went up and I asked this guy. He only spoke Ojibwe, so I had to say, oh, yeah. Minabushki Minasagani, Batusi Chikani, Bakwayshikan. Minabushki Minasagani, Batusi Chikani, Bakwayshikan. Minabushki Minasagani, Batusi Chikani, Bakwayshikan. Blueberry pie. Bonjour! Oh, it's really pretty out here. I just had to get out of northern Minnesota. It's too cold. Too much snow. Zugipun. Gi Zugipun. Minawanungum. It snowed again today. So I thought I'd teleport myself to someplace much prettier. We're out here in beautiful... Okay. Computer! Boop, boop, boop. And program. Boop, 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 boop. It's just a holodeck, you guys. I'm still in Minnesota. So yeah. Today was just a blizzard. Just a full-on blizzard. Just thick, wet snow. And so, I don't know. What can you do? Nothing. But yeah, coming out of the closet. I used to be a closeted heterosexual. All my friends in college were gay. I'd be hanging out in gay bars pretending I was gay, but... in the old days, it was fun. You know, it was really like the theater people were like the only gay people. It was just, you know, a small minority of people on a campus. Now it's like half the population. But I never had to come out of the closet as a straight woman. But I've been in the closet about being a pothead, you know. And it's weird. Because, you know, there's usually good reasons. You go, well, I don't want to encourage kids to smoke pot. Like, why not? I don't know. It's probably bad for you. But, you know, I do a lot of stuff that's bad for me. I also eat junk food sometimes. And, you know, drink coffee like it's going out of style. But, yeah, I've lived in, you know, a closeted lifestyle when it comes to that. And, you know, and the flat earth stuff, too. You know. I'm not embarrassed, but it gets very awkward because the people who find out about me get really weird, you know. My cousin called me a Neanderthal. He just started cracked up. It's like, what are you, crazy? What are you, some kind of Neanderthal? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I believe in Genesis. How about that? I actually believe in Adam and Eve. I believe once in a while snakes will talk and try to make you eat an apple. I believe a lot of crazy stuff. But, I don't know. Life is just a fantasy. Can you live this fantasy life? Eldonova. Anybody remember Eldonova? Life is just a fantasy. Can you live this fantasy life? But even the Bible talks about that. We're living in a world. We see the world through a glass darkly or something. And even Jesus said something like, be sure not to be deceived. Be not deceived. And the truth will set you free. Well, I swung way back into believing in the Creator when I went flat. Once you go flat, you never go back. That's what they say. Once you become a flat earther, it's over. You're never, ever, ever gonna be convinced, oh yeah, I guess I was wrong about that. Well, not exactly. I'm not a flat earther. I reject that we live on a spinning globe that's moving around space. I'm an anti-spacer. You know, some people are anti-theists. Or, what's the word? Agnostic and anti... Oh, just have a brain fart. I'm an agnostic. Oh yeah, I'm a atheist. Atheist means not godly. I don't believe in God. I'm an atheist. Like asexual. Atheist has no God. I'm a science denier, I guess. I deny you science as I stand in a holodeck. But that's the thing. People go, oh, really? You don't believe in science? Nice holodeck, Natasha. You use a computer, don't you, dummy? Well, that's what NASA does. Like, no, they don't. NASA has nothing to do with technology. I believe in technology. That kind of science. But I think that was part of the deception, too. They tried to blend in space talk with real science, with natural sciences. They said, oh yeah, well, this is how physics work. This is science. This is a scientific experiment. And these are scientific facts. And then the space people came in and said, hey, we're science too. Only our science is just based on math. We can't do any experiments, but trust us. We wrote down some math equations, and now, through the magic of science, we know how far away the sun is, and how far away those stars are, and that we're moving, we're spinning, the whole ball, Earth is spinning out of control, and we're totally insignificant. We are just a speck of dust. Well, think about this for a second if you never considered it. If you believe we live on a speck of dust, a tiny little blue marble in this vastness of space. So, the way they describe it, we are, the space guys, those astrophysicists, are always quick to just minimize the human experience. Neil deGrasse Tyson, oh, we are a very insignificant solar system in a vast galaxy of billions of light years and blah, blah, blah. And they're always constantly, I don't want to get gross, but stroking their own ego, smelling their own farts. And they're so confident in what they say they know about outer space. All the while, and this is why they had to fake the moon landing. The moon's not a place you can fly to and land on. Look at it. During the day, you can see right through it. It's not a ball globe. But they brainwashed us to believe that when we look at the moon, which is a gray disk that changes sizes and is super bright, except when the astronauts land on it. But it's a luminary. It's a light in the sky that changes shape perfectly every 28 days. So we can tell the days of the month. And that's why Ojibwe people called, the months the moons. They say, oh, this is the sugar boiling things down moon. No, I just forgot what it is. But anyway, the science, it's a big clock. The moon and the sun tells us the hour of the day. The moon tells us the day of the month. And the stars tell us the month of the year. And the Bible says, yeah, by the way, look up there. I put them there so you could, for signs and seasons. You'll know when it's harvest season. You'll know when it's time. The seasons, Look up. Oh, there's, Big Dipper's pointing west. Must be time to start farming or whatever. But all this information's known, but it's been kept secret. And they educated us to be dumb. Sequoia Hummingbird says, 13 moons, not 12 months. Exactly. There are 13 moons. This should be 13 months. If we just had 28 days, we didn't have this weird, screwed up Egyptian calendar. we should be going 13 months of 28 days. But, I think the truth is getting revealed. It should be an interesting next few years. Hoka, hey. Grassroots is back. Well, how would I know that? I'm in the holodeck. I better go back upstairs. Boop. Okay, BOOZHOO. Hi, sweetie. I'm in the holodeck. You ready to come back? Yeah. All right. Hang on. 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1. Nah. Hey, there she is. Hi. We were talking about the flat earth. I was. Came out of the closet, too. I'm following your lead. So, there you have it. Just, I guess today was about coming out. And better smoke, too. Smoking one to see if I can get to that realm. Yeah. When it comes, sometimes I wonder if that's not connected. What's that? There might be something to partaking in the love medicine known as weed, as reefer. Yeah. That, how like hippies just say, oh, open your mind. Different state of consciousness. Well, that kind of happened to me. It does kind of encourage you to question everything, to be brave enough to question everything. That's why stoners love movies like The Matrix. They're like, man, this is just what I was talking about, dude. No. Kai, I've already had 4. Sweetie, should we call it a show? Yeah, I think we should. Hey, everybody. If you'd like to support the show, we have links in the description to PayPal, Patreon, and GoFundMe. And Michael has books for sale on Amazon.com. Books like OJIBERISH, which is a collection of cartoons, and Little Cutie, a teddy bear's vision quest. Otherwise, do you want to add anything? Oh, that's pretty good. All right. Just want to say miigwech. Actually, I really do want to say miigwech bizendawi. Thank you for listening. Nobody mocked us or told us we were crazy in the show, so preesh. Thank you so much for listening. Miigwech bizendawi egg. Dash. Miigwech ganawabi egg. Thank you for watching BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Na 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 na. Sweetie? 1 to teleport, but you didn't say who I was. Oh, right, sorry. This is not a BOOZHOO. Okay, miigwech. This is Michael Lyons, Rockstar Cartoonist. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow. And I am Natasha. I will see you again. Giga Baba Min. All right? That was perfect. 1 to teleport. Make it so, wait, we did that backwards. 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1.